In this video, I'm going to show you how it only took 7 minutes for the material from the collapsed glacier to cause a debris flow to take out an immigration center 13 miles downstream, traveling at an average rate of 120 miles per hour. Utterly shocking, but the timing that I'll show you from two key timestamps is pretty clear cut, and it means that all of the slurry, the melted ice, water from the glacier, the rocks, sand, other soil, just all the debris came from the glacier itself, the vast majority of it. I mean, there just wasn't enough time for the initial theory that perhaps a landslide blocked the river, and then over time that debris dam was overtopped and caused the flash flooding. There just simply wasn't time. There's literally 7 minutes from collapse to inundation of that immigration center. So this is the location of the glacial collapse in Nepal on the Tibet border. USGS initially had this incident characterized as an earthquake, magnitude 4.4, but they quickly revised that to just say that all that energy came from the collapse of a glacier falling over 4,000 feet from the mountain to the valley floor below. And we see this timestamp here, 2:52 a.m. Universal Time, which is 10:52 a.m. Chinese Standard Time. And we see a still shot from the surveillance footage of the immigration center at the Nepal-Tibet border. China's occupied Tibet since 1950, and we see the timestamp 10:59 a.m. So literally 7 minutes for that debris from the collapsed glacier to turn into a slurry and travel 13 miles downstream. I just plotted out a route on Google Earth here. We see an overall elevation change of over 7,000 feet from top of the glacier to the immigration center, or if you prefer metric units, over 20 kilometers with an elevation change of 2,400 meters. And if we just look at the elevation change in the immediate area of the glacier, it's over 4,000 feet or over 1,200 meters. Now we'll know a lot more as additional satellite images come along. But again, I know we're assuming that the USGS timestamp's correct, and we're assuming that the immigration footage has the correct timestamp, which I think's are pretty fair assumptions in both cases, but we'll see, we'll get confirmation. But here's some satellite footage of the glacial area up in the mountains before the collapse and after the collapse. You can see this massive scarp, this tan area. The width of this collapse is approximately 0.8 miles. So the volume of rock and ice is involving millions and millions of cubic yards of material. Again, another before, after. We can see many glaciers throughout this area. We really don't see any glacial lakes. That was the initial thought, that perhaps there was a glacial lake outburst flood that caused this massive flash flooding, where you have terminal moraine, the rocks and soils that were pushed down from a glacier that traps the glacial meltwater. And over time, there's either overtopping or a collapse of that moraine, causing a sudden release of the water. That clearly could not have happened here given the short time frame involved. Here's a satellite view of the immigration center before the debris flow, and now afterwards. It's entirely obliterated, taking hundreds of people with it. Now we have a new drama unfolding, and that is debris from this glacial collapse has now blocked the river. It's the debris left over after the massive water has passed through, and the river is starting to impound behind this debris dam, and Chinese officials anticipate a breach here in the coming days, which could lead to another flash flood, discharge of water downstream, which is a second devastating blow as people are trying to effect rescue and recovery downstream. And this flooding went on for as much as 50 miles downstream, with surge in the river heights of over 30 feet in just a few minutes' time. You see other aerial photos like this village before the event, now after, just completely inundated in mud and scoured out from the debris flow. So I'll continue to follow this story. Thanks to you who have supported the channel through Buy Me a Coffee, membership, and super thanks. Stay tuned, everyone.